ladies and gentlemen, to Pick and Pop Season 3, Episode 3. We are back with a new episode. Clearly, you can see the new shit that we got out here. So, we're putting in that work. We're putting in the fun, so we're supposed to be. We're coming in. You feel me? We working
Super
hard.
clean.
How you
Super
feeling
clean.
about the new overlays, my boy? Talk to me. How you
I
feeling
love
about
it.
it?
I
Me
think the
too.
OG overlay is always gonna be sick because it's clean and it's super. It's
Mhm.
gonna be the first. We might spot use it here and there, but this just looks a lot more professional, a lot cleaner. Shout out to Alice Visuals. I'm gonna post him in the description below so you guys can go check it out. Go get him some work.
Yes.
He's out of South America. Really good designer, good communicator, good dude.
Mhm.
So shout out to him for that. Check out the new banners on YouTube, Twitter, and then we have a new tri-cam set up, so you guys are
Yep.
gonna be able to see that as well.
Yeah, man, we've been working hard on this. It's been a long time coming. We're about to use the what you call it, the OG banners and overlays as like the fucking classic quartz.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, but let's get started, man, because it's been a good week of basketball. Been a little distracted
hmm
here and there, but let's get
hmm
it going, man. Let's get it going. So let's start off with the first question. The first topic actually, the Celtics. What do you think about their start so far, my boy? Talk to me.
I think they're insane. I actually think they're really good, like insanely good. They're way better than they were last year, and I feel like that has to do a lot with Porzingis. They've had some pretty good wins over some pretty decent teams.
Yep.
I mean, they lost that head-to-head matchup versus the 76ers, but I mean, the 76ers have Joel Embiid, the MVP, one of the top three guards in the East, and Maxey, which we're going to talk about a little later. But they kind of manhandled the Raptors. They destroyed the Pacers.
Mhm.
So I think that they're doing very, very, very good. And in my opinion, Jason Tatum is probably number 2 in the MVP voting. I mean, Jason Tatum's just having himself, another great season. He's at 28, 9, and 4 right now, almost averaging a steal and a half a game. So he's doing very well. I still think Luka's leading, but they're clear 1 and 2 in the East. The Bucks, a little shaky. We're not going to talk about the Bucks this episode, but the Bucks should be in that top 3 range. But
Mhm.
aim is just very shaky right now.
You gotta
It's
give them
kind of
some
surprising
time.
to see.
Some
Yeah,
time. Give him some time, bro. His name
for
is
sure.
Game Time for a reason. Okay. So for me, I just gotta say what I was surprised when I pulled up the stats myself was when I saw that Jason Tatum is leading in 3 of 5 categories. Yeah, he's leading in points, which is kind of
Mhm,
obvious, but he's actually leading in rebounds right now with 8.9, which is crazy. Drew
mhm,
Holiday is leading them with 5.5 assists, and Jason Tatum is leading them with 1.2 steals. And then you got Porzingis of 1.3 blocks, which is great, bro. All around is amazing.
mhm,
Jalen Brown is averaging 22.9, Porzingis 19.7, Drew Holiday 12.9, and then you got Derek White with 12.5. Like, this is a solid team. They're a very scary team. I think we even said it like during the summer before we came back with the podcast and everything. Like, when we saw the Porzingis trade go through, and I think we even mentioned it in the first episode of the season, the Celtics look scary. They're definitely up there in the East. It's crazy that they did lose to the 76ers though.
yeah.
So the Sixers are on the come up ever since that trade, but we'll talk about that a little later. But overall, I'm very happy with the way they're playing. They're a very entertaining team to watch. Overall, they just got exactly what they needed.
Mhm,
So to touch on Porzingis being added to this, it's like the coaching styles. You can see how more comfortable the coach is with this team compared to the previous team, because the
mhm.
previous team wasn't for him. It
Yeah.
was Udoka's team. Like, that was his team. It was structured to his coaching style. But this team is
Mhm.
more to their current coach's style. I keep forgetting his fucking name, but
Joe Mazzulla.
Missoula. Yeah, there you go. It's more
Mhm,
adjusted to his style, and he's reaping the benefits of it. Look at his team. Look at what they're doing right now.
mhm.
So very, shout out to the Celtics, bro. They're doing good. Good shit.
Yeah, with Udoka, I mean, you had guys like Malcolm Brogdon and Marcus Smart, and obviously Robert Williams. You had more defenders, and I think Udoka being from that Spurs tree, he's more defensive minded, whereas Missoula's more He reminds me of like kind of college coach-esque offensive minded, and just adding a big man like Porzingis who's going to give you 20 points a night out there just fits perfectly into what they do.
Yep.
It was kind of the thing with like the Nets. Obviously, the players aren't at the same level, but for the Nets, it was like if one of them is going off, you're gonna have a tough game. If two of them are going off, you're probably gonna lose. And then if the three of them were going off, it was impossible to beat. So
Hmm.
I think it's the same for the Celtics. If Tatum, Brown, and Porzingis are all firing at all cylinders, I think it's very, very, very difficult to beat. It's just
Good.
an offensive output that a lot of teams just can't keep up with. The only ones hot that could keep up with them would probably be like a Giannis, Dame being hot, and like Chris Middleton or somebody knocking down shots, or probably the Clippers if Kawhi and Paul George are lighting it up, and then Russ or Harden is adding something in there.
I don't want to fucking talk about them right now.
Yeah,
Don't. They match up well, but I just. Woosah.
it's rough. It's rough. We'll get into it.
Woo motherfucking saw.
So let's hop into the Lakers a little bit more positively than we have been, only because they do have a 500 record. They had a big win without LeBron, playing against Portland. Obviously, Portland's not a great team, but they have some young talent out there. So we got to see the new confidence instilled in Cam Reddish come out.
Mhm.
Christian Wood I saw on NBA Twitter that Christian Wood is pissing a lot of people off because he was kind of being a ball hog that game for some reason. And then Anthony Davis had a great game.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like, are we going to see the roller coaster with AD where he's going to have a shitty game now because he's like on and off? But with LeBron coming back, how do you see the Lakers now? They seem a little bit revamped, and they have Jared Vanderbilt coming back very soon as well.
So I'm honestly very happy that they won without LeBron. Because
Mhm.
from the beginning, I thought that this team should be able to win without him. Uh,
Absolutely.
we said it from the beginning. They've been too LeBron reliant
Yeah,
on to get wins and shit. So the fact that they were able to do it is good.
for sure.
Um, Overall, great output by everybody. AD, Rui, back out there, doing his thing. I really fuck with Rui. You already know this.
Hmm.
Um, AR, the greatest foul merchant of all time, is out there doing his shit. Um, but overall though, it's a good win for the Lakers. They're just proving that they can win against
Hmm.
poverty without LeBron, which is really good. But
They should.
overall, good win, man. With Vanderbilt coming back though, that does upgrade them more a little bit in the sense
Yeah.
of now they have more defense. Now Cam Reddish has been doing really well, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I really fuck with Cam. Um, I said it before that I didn't think that he was being used well in previous teams. I like how he's
Right.
getting used here, and the fact that he can run and be free sometimes is
Yep.
great. Like he got the steal and then scored it like as they're trying to inbound the ball. Like that's like you want to see something like that. That's quick 2 points right there added to the board. So that's really good to see. Vanderbilt coming back more defense so they could defend more teams that have like you said, like the Celtics, like higher
Hmm.
outputs of offense. Like if you can shut
Yeah.
one of them down, and then that's it. Keep it
Right.
pushing. Got to worry about the other two. But overall, like it's a good team, man. Like from the beginning, I said it was a good team. The fact that
Hmm.
they were so LeBron reliant at first was pissing me off, but I want to see them like get more wins without
Yeah.
having to rely as much on LeBron. But good shit.
I think the lineups are gonna look a lot better. And I was thinking about this while I was making these topics, but uh, if the Lakers kind of stick to this thing where they start kind of grooving, and we saw at the end of last season the little win streak that they went on,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason for that was that LeBron was being allowed to kind of cruise and then to close games, whether with plays or him just scoring himself, and we even saw that in the playoffs a lot too. So I was thinking about a lineup that could be absolutely deadly, like an actual death lineup that they could have. That would 100% work. And it really depends on what you're trying to do.
Okay. I'm hyped.
If the game is a little closer, you're gonna have LeBron at the point, D'Angelo Russell at the two. You're gonna have Cam Reddish at the three, Christian Wood at the four, and then Anthony Davis at the five. So what that does is you obviously keep the size because Cam Reddish is a lot bigger than people think. The smallest
Mm-hmm.
is D'Angelo. He's like 6'4". Might be
Mm-hmm.
a little taller than that. So you have a massive lineup, but if LeBron decides to play at least 3 out, you have Cam Reddish, Christian Wood, and Anthony Davis is playing a little bit more perimeter. And that's if the game is closer and you're kind of, you want the defense to collapse on LeBron, and then you want him to kick it out to one of the 3 shooters out there.
Mhm.
Well, actually, one of the 4 shooters, because it would be D'Angelo, Cam Reddish, Christian Wood, and then if you have Anthony Davis on the wing somewhere, he's actually shooting more threes now, which is what we saw in 2020 where he was successful. He was
Mhm.
shooting, a higher 30% clip. And then a bigger lineup where you may have a little bit more of a cushion of a lead, but you want more defense. It would be LeBron at the point, Cam Reddish at the 2, Vanderbilt at the 3, Christian Wood at the 4, and Anthony Davis at the 5. I think that lineup right there can close out games. And I know like it sounds crazy to not have Rui or Austin Reeves in the closing, but I think if they tried that lineup with the way that Cam Reddish has been playing these last couple of games and defensively how he's picking up the best player, he doesn't have to do that anymore. But if him and Vando are on the floor at the same time, it's going to be very, very difficult for these wings to play, and they're going to match up even better with the Clippers now and teams like that with Jared Vanderbilt back, because whoever's got the hot hand, you can switch these wing defenders on them. So
Mhm.
that lineup of LeBron, Cam, Vando, Wood, and AD, it's, let's say you have a 6-point lead, everybody defends who they have to defend. Let LeBron make either a kick out, drive in, get to the post, whatever he needs to do. You can close out games very easily. And I was thinking about that death lineup because they have unbelievable size. Last time we saw the Lakers have crazy size like this, they won the
2020.
championship.
2020. Yeah.
Yeah, they won the championship and won 60 plus games. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, for sure.
That Lakers team was looking nice too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you said. Damn, Vando and Cam.
Vando and Cam switching onto these big players. Because Cam Reddish was kind of giving KD a little bit of problems. Obviously, you can't stop KD. He got super hot in that fourth quarter.
Mhm.
But Cam Reddish was giving him fits. So now imagine if Cam Reddish is kind of depleted guarding him, you have a fresh Vando switching onto him. It's going to be a
Mhm.
very big problem. You have too many bodies to throw at these small forwards in the West.
Mhm.
And then the rest of the whoever's coming into the if the Lakers ever make the finals or anything like that, I think they match up well with whoever comes out of the East as
Yeah.
well.
And they also got bodies to throw at Jokic and all these
hmm
other
Bigger
Celtics.
players, absolutely.
No, yeah, that's exactly how they were able to beat the Nuggets in 2020.
Well, the
They
MVP of
just
that
kept
series
throwing.
was Dwight Howard,
Mm-hmm.
because Dwight Howard just beat him up.
Yeah,
He
it
just
just kept
played
it just kept
he
throwing
played
bodies at
2000
him, bro.
basketball on him. As soon as
Just
Jokic caught the ball, either Dwight, obviously with his hops, he was jumping to deny the ball.
mm-hmm.
He was poking at it. He wasn't letting Jokic kind of get into his rhythm, and I think that that's perfect because AD doesn't play like that.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to have a big out there. It's kind of the same way they used to defend Shaq. I'm not comparing Shaq and Jokic, but the way that you were defending Shaq is you would play him man up, and that's what I mean. Again, there is no defender on the Lakers that's Ben Wallace, but Ben Wallace was playing Shaq man to man, and he was giving him fits, and that's really what you have to do. You have to gamble on the dominant player in Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
If Jamal hits you for 6 or 7 threes, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I live with it.
I feel like I live with that than a Jokic 50-point triple double or something like that. So,
Mm-hmm. So all right, so let's get the positive shit out the way. Let's talk about something negative real quick, because not gonna get any traction if I something negative out of there somewhere. So, which team has been the most disappointing team so far this season?
for me,
Hear it.
for me, it's between two, and this is where it gets a little interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna say the Cavs, just because I just like last night they got absolutely lit up by Sacramento. They could not miss a shot. Kevin Herter was just pulling. It was going. It was crazy. Like I hit on that game because I had Mobley for 8 rebounds. He ended up having like 11. Um, but like they were getting obliterated. Like there was nothing they could do, and Sacramento was locking them up too. Um, so they're a little disappointing because I think the Cavs should be like a top 4 team lock, but right now they're outside like that top 6. in my opinion. The way that the Knicks are playing, like I would take the Knicks over the Cavs right now, the way that they're playing. I'm not saying like kind of personnel. The Heat kind of woke up a little bit because Adebayo's kind of going in. So, I mean, I would say the Cavs, but I mean, the elephant in the room would be the 3-6 Los Angeles Clippers because it's just it's just weird. Like it doesn't make sense. Like 0-5 since Harden got there.
0-4. Yeah, 0-4. He got there. He got there for the win
Might be
during the
zero and
season.
5 tonight, the way the Grizzlies be playing. But
No, they already lost to the Grizzlies. they're,
I mean,
they're playing yoke, bro.
oh, they're playing Denver.
But no
Yeah, I
Jamal, and I'm
mean,
still
look,
scared, bro.
I'm not counting them out. I'm not counting the Clippers out. You can't even against Denver, but I don't know, man. Denver's just a well-oiled machine. You know, everybody's playing their role. Aaron Gordon's a monster. Michael Porter Jr.'s a monster. They pick up the slack. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. But I would say for me it's the Cavs, but then the Clippers for obvious reasons. So I'll let you talk on the Clippers because I'm sure you probably have the same level of
I
disappointment.
have them on number 2 actually for disappointment.
Who's number one?
The Bucks.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was expecting a lot more from the Bucks to be honest. Um,
Okay.
well, like they haven't really played that many fucking games together yet.
Yeah.
But honestly, when I saw the trade go through, and then the time they spent together, and then Giannis just saying, "Yo, like this is your team, you rock. Like let me just do my thing."
Yep.
I thought it was gonna be a lot better. It could still be because he's still new, still getting used to the system, all that. I was
Yep.
thinking about this the other day actually. I think that Dame would have been nicer in this system with their previous coach. I don't think that they should have fired their
Yeah.
coach, in my opinion. I think
Budenholzer.
yeah, that was a horrible firing, in my opinion. That was
Yeah.
stupid. And Dame even said it before he even got traded. He goes, "We firing championship coaches now? Like that's kind of stupid."
Yeah.
Um, which he's right, because I wouldn't have fired him personally. I would like, all right, like you pick up Dame and then you're gonna get a brand new coach. Nah, I wouldn't do that.
For
But
sure.
overall, Dame's numbers have dropped. His 3-point shooting has dropped. His efficiency around the rim has dropped. His field goals has dropped. Um,
Hmm.
like I said, it could still be because he's still getting used to the team and adjusting.
Right.
But overall, man, I don't like it. I don't like
Right.
the way it's looking. Their defense is like, I used to like watching the Bucks because, like you say, because you are very on both sides of the floor more than I am. To be honest, I like scoring more, but
Hmm.
um, the defense has dropped a lot dramatically, and obviously it's because Dame Lillard isn't Drew Holiday defensively. Like Dame is not gonna be guarding up these crazy point guards and being able to stop them and hold them and stuff like that. Like Dame is not like that. That's not what Dame is there for. Dame is a scorer, bro. Like you give Dame
Yeah.
the ball, he scores that shit. He could pass it, this shit out. Yeah, he could do all that. But overall, Giannis is still doing Giannis shit. So like this, I have nothing against Giannis right now. I just feel like just Dame needs a little bit more time to just adjust to his role, know what he's doing, and just keep it pushing. Now the Clippers. Uh I'm gonna bring them up a little bit later in the later topic, but for right now, they are disappointing me, but I'm
Hmm.
not as disappointed as you would expect me to be. Only because when I first saw them before the trade went through, I was liking what I was seeing. I was like, okay, like this team is really solid.
Hmm.
Then you just add another person to the team that's not necessarily a ball hog, but like you're adding Harden that is ball dominant. Like you already got Russ is already
Yeah.
adjusted to his role where he's like, all right, like I'm dishing it out, I'm getting it
Right.
done.
Right.
Right,
Right.
he's already adjusted to that. Obviously, PG and Kawhi they got to do the ISO shit,
Right.
which is also pissing me off. They're playing a lot of too much fucking ISO ball to close games out, which is costing them the fucking games. And it's pissing
Right.
me off there. Too much ISO ball, and then
Mm.
you drop in Harden. You sacrifice depth for that, and now Harden, who hasn't been in a preseason camp or anything, and you just drop him in and have him playing off his game sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, like his numbers are looking good, but when you look at the actual numbers with the players on the court, it's not working out as well. Now, obviously, like I said, he was just dropped. He's playing off a game sense. Maybe if they had a full training camp together, they'll look much different. But overall, Harden off the bench.
Yeah, for sure.
Harden off the bench because
Hmm.
yeah, I would rather see Harden off the bench and let Russ cook up with PG and Kawhi there. That way, because
Hmm.
Russ is already adjusted to his role as in like I'm dishing out to these two, and then
Right.
when he sits down, Harden can come in with the bench unit, and then PG or Kawhi will be in there, just rocking back and forth. It's really pissing me off that Ty Lue is actually sitting both Harden and Russ at the same time. But there's that. Yeah, those are the two teams I'm disappointed in, but mostly the Bucks. Clippers will
Yeah.
figure it out eventually, hopefully. Praying. But God, I'm playing.
Mhm. I think with the Clippers, the biggest thing is I heard Gilbert Arenas say it, but I actually agree with it. Is that James Harden has to play like a shooting guard. Like he
Yo,
has to stand there
I'm
and
sorry to cut
spot
you
up.
off. Yo, I watched the same shit today during lunch too. Yeah, bro, I agree.
But he
Bro,
needs
he's
to.
he's playing too
It
much
has
guard,
to
your
be
point
like a
guard.
throwback to OKC when
Mm-hmm.
he used to like kind of spot up. I think muscle memory's just killing him because he was just used to getting into his actions and dribbling and coming off screens, and
Mm-hmm.
he lost the step, so he's not as fast. Obviously, his
Mm-hmm.
dribble moves are still going to be there. But I just think if he just spots up and just kind of moves around, I need James Harden to just kind of move around. Don't be so stagnant. I think it's literally just catch ball, dribble ball. Like with him, I think he just needs to let Russ kind of operate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and let Kawhi be that point forward, let PG be the point forward, but James Harden needs to come down there. I'm not saying that he can't. Like if let's say Russ isn't on the floor and then it's just him and like Paul George or something, yeah, run the go ahead. Take the offense, but you can't do that the whole game
Mm-hmm.
unless you are de facto passing the ball, making sure that when Russ cuts, you hit him for easy layups. You're looking for Russ on the fast break, whatever it may be. But if you're gonna spot up, do that. He's trying to mix all of it together. We're seeing air balls, we're seeing turnovers. He's getting absolutely cooked on defense. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he can't defend anybody. And that just doesn't fit in with the Clipper personnel. So yeah, I agree. Hopefully they figure it out.
Give him some
Um,
time, bro.
yeah, we'll see.
Like always, and this is like a rule of thumb that I have. I give everything 10 games, 10 to 20 games. If I'm very stressed out, 20 games.
It's
But
already it's already 10 games.
no, 10 games with Harden with this new with the new pickup.
Uh,
That's what I mean.
okay,
So
okay.
I think this will be the fifth or sixth game with him. I don't know, but they,
Yep,
I think it's the fifth because they lost four straight with him. Before.
right.
But overall, I'm disappointed in these two teams. You got your own two. Obviously, we have one
Hmm.
of the same here, but I want to see these teams turn around. The Cavs too, man.
Cavs is just hierarchy, I think, with them. It's like they have to understand Donovan Mitchell's your best player.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure he gets every single shot. Darius Garland is your second best player. Make sure he gets every single shot, and then put Evan Mobley in positions to kill you down post. You have the two best defensive big men
Mm-hmm.
um, duo in the league, and then you got probably either the sixth man of the year or the runner up with sixth man of the year in Karis LeVert. So
Mm-hmm.
other than that, you have Max Strus who's playing very, very, very well. So
Mm-hmm.
they have the personnel. They just got to get that hierarchy ready.
Yeah, they disappointed me last year when they lost to the Knicks. And also, really quick, shout out to the Knicks. Okay, shout out to the New
Mhm.
York motherfucking Knicks. Okay, I'm sorry for every year doubting y'all and be like losing
Nope,
to the Knicks. I
I'm not.
apologize.
They're
I
still ass.
apologize. I apologize.
They are
Y'all are
still
real. Y'all are
super
a
ass.
playoff team. Um, I fuck with y'all. And
Super
y'all also
booty.
got the Cavs number. And so there's that.
Super booty. We the best team in New York, baby. Ayy.
You see, like he's always sneaking in,
I'm
brother.
just saying we're 5-5 and we're beating great teams.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
All right. So Bleacher Report put out a article, and we're gonna post that title right about here. Trade packages for Zach Lavine and every top Chicago Bulls trade asset. So they kind of did a little bit of a breakdown because the report came out today that the Bulls are looking for a Zach Lavine trade. If they are looking for a Zach Lavine trade, that means they are looking for a DeMar DeRozan trade shortly after. You cannot get enough from Zach Lavine to build around DeMar DeRozan. no matter how good Kobe White is playing, no matter who you got on that roster. Caruso is also a trade asset that you can get stuff for. I think what the Bulls need to get right now, go get yourself some picks. Designate Kobe White as probably your best player because that's the way that he's playing. If you want to keep Caruso just kind of as a veteran presence, sure, just go get picks. We have a big draft coming up. A lot of really good players are coming up in this draft. It's going to be way better than last year, and last year was fucking stacked. But this year is going to be OD with a lot of these players coming in. So go get some picks. I think that run is over. Obviously, the coaching, everything, they just can't figure it out over there. They need just fresh blood, and the Bulls just need to, I feel like it happens with these teams sometimes with the Bulls who have like these like dynastic histories where they want to stay relevant, but your fan base with, the Cubs out there and, well, the Bears are pretty shit. But you can't have everybody shit. You know what I mean? Like New York has the Giants are shit, the Jets are shit, the Yankees are absolute shit, like dog shit, horrible. So you just can't have like all the New York teams be ass and then all the Chicago teams be ass. Like
Hey,
they have to be good.
hey, fuck you.
I'm just saying.
Don't
I'm
come
just
in my
saying.
team
So,
like that.
so this is what they're saying. Mets are ass too. Horrible.
Don't
Dog shit.
come in my
Really bad.
fucking teams like that.
A Chicago Bulls has felt like a borderline inevitability from the moment this core came together. According to the Athletic, Shams is seemingly ready to move on. Chicago is seemingly ready to move on from Lavine. So they have a couple deals here where it's like Alex Caruso to the Nuggets, which would be actually insane for Reggie Jackson, 2 other players, and a 30 first round pick swap. Vucevic to the Grizzlies because they definitely need big men with Brandon Clark being hurt, Steven Adams out for the season. You have Bismack Biyombo's playing very well. But he could, if I had to pick between the two, I'm taking Vucevic, obviously. They also have on here, and we're going to put all this on the screen. It's going to be a little bit of homework for Mauricio, so love that. DeMar DeRozan to the Heat. I mean, if that's what y'all want to do, go ahead and do it. DeMar DeRozan and Jimmy Butler on the floor together is a little weird because they do the exact same thing, except Jimmy Butler's a better defender. But they have the exact same moves, the exact same play style. And we saw that in LA for the past 2 years.
Yo.
You cannot have two people who do the exact same thing on one team.
He does exactly what I do, but better.
Zach Lavine to the Lakers is the last one, and that's really what we're going to get into because what do you feel about that fit? What they're saying here is that it would be D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, and JHS. Oops. It would be D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, and Jalen Hood-Schifino, who is their draft pick from this year, 2028 first round pick, and a top 5 protected. In my opinion, that's too much for Zach Lavine. And if they gave that up, I would be very disappointed in them. Unless you're going to give Max Christie a bigger role, you don't need to trade away D'Angelo Russell. Zach Lavine can play in the same lineup with D'Lo, and that would be amazing for the Lakers. The reason why is because if you have LeBron passing out to 2 high-clip shooters like that, that's where you're going to have success. They would be like an upgraded version of Iman Shumpert and J.R. Smith. And then you have your big man, Kevin Love. You don't have a Kyrie Irving, obviously, but if LeBron's running point, who the fuck cares? I think that's too much. What do you think about the package from this article? This is just from this article. So it's D'Lo,
who's
Rui.
reporting this? Shams?
This is Shams with Bleacher Report.
I don't really
so
fuck with Shams, to be honest with you. Because I call most of that, not most of that, but I call the whole from the beginning. Nah, because in my opinion, this team fell apart as soon as Lonzo's knee gave out. This team was looking nice. This team was a playoff
Lonzo
team.
was a big part of it, for sure.
This team was a playoff team. So he can't be saying that from the start. No, you can't say that. Like this is shit that I hate about media too. You want to put in bullshit and then have these casual people believe that shit. No, bro, I watched the fucking seasons. There's literally film on this. They were a nice team. They were a playoff team. They were doing great. Lonzo's knee gives out. Like always, I really fuck with Lonzo. He's a great defender. Yeah, other injuries too. But this team was supposed to be nice, and they were nice. unfortunately, injuries happen, shit like that. So you can't be saying that this happens from the beginning. Now, Lakers giving up way too much in order to get Zach. In my opinion, I agree
D'Angelo
with
and
you there.
Rui, no.
I don't really care about D'Angelo Russell like that. I'd rather keep Rui, to be honest. I like forwards more. Because it just keeps him more bodies to throw at people. D'Angelo's just tiny. He's a cone
But
still.
D'Angelo Russell's a point guard.
Yeah, but he's still a cone.
But he's an actual point guard.
But he's a cone.
He's averaging 7 assists a game.
He's a cone.
It doesn't matter. You can hide him on defense.
Hey, you got Gabe Vincent.
It's not like Zach Lavine is lockdown.
No, Zach Levine's not lockdown, but Zach Levine is your scorer. That's
No, but still, D'Angelo Russell can
throwing
get
that shit to
just
him.
as hot as Zach Lavine, if I'm being
No,
honest.
I agree. Listen, I'm like obviously I'm being biased as fuck, but yeah, I like the whole idea of lining up Zach and D'Lo together. It's just that I personally fuck with Rui a lot more, and I don't want to see Rui go.
But why? Like, why not? Like, you did the whole training camp with this squad, right?
Mhm.
You
It's way too
brought in
much. It's way too
quality
much.
pieces. Why are you gonna like? I
It's
get
way
it.
too
It's
much.
Zach Lavine. But if they want to get rid of him anyway, just offer them the bare minimum. Like,
Exactly.
if I'm a GM, I'm thinking like this: you gotta let him go anyway. You want to trade him, so I'm not gonna give you the whole house because that's what you want.
Yeah.
If you want to get rid of him anyway, I'll give you the picks that we mentioned.
Wait.
I'll give you Jalen Hood Shafino because I believe in Max Christie more than Jalen Hood Shafino.
So, quick question: this is what Shams thinks that they would give up in order to get Zach.
Well, yeah, these are just like
Okay, so
one
yeah,
example, like one kind of trade.
So, like I don't
But
really.
I mean,
I
no,
don't see
it makes
Pelinka.
sense.
I don't see Pelinka giving this up.
It makes sense because of the other trades, like Alex Caruso for the package. That's makes sense as a package. But Rui and D'Angelo Russell do
That's too
not
much.
make sense. They're two of the players that carried y'all in the playoffs last year. That doesn't make any sense.
D'Lo won y'all a game. Listen,
Y'all don't want to hear this because he's a fan favorite. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all don't want to hear this because he's a fan favorite. But I would trade Austin Reeves for Zach Lavine.
I would too.
I would do that package, Jalen Hood Shafino and Austin Reeves for Zach Lavine. And then if you're throwing in a Rui or D'Angelo, I want Caruso back. Give me Caruso and Zach Lavine, and then I'll give you one of those players because that's the value that player has. If you're not going to do that, then take Austin Reeves and give me Zach Lavine. You want Austin? He's going to bring in the eyes. He has his own fan base. He has his signature shoe. Like, you get like a face. He's going to be the face, and who knows? Austin Reeves turns into a 20-point per game scorer. That's a good start. He's a very young player. I'm not giving up Rui Hachimura. Like, that man was a top 10 NBA lottery draft pick. That man led the playoffs in 3-point percentage last year. I am not doing that at all. That's stupid. For Zach Lavine, I'm not giving that up because Zach Lavine has another probably like 3 elite years and he's injury prone. That's what people aren't talking about. Zach Lavine is injury prone. I'm not giving up two healthy, like pretty healthy players in their careers for an injury prone scorer. I know, I get it. LeBron, the whole thing is, Bron wants to stack the deck. I don't think he wants to anymore. I think he wants this team to figure it out, and that's it. Because this is a great team that he could actually win with.
Listen, bro, like, I agree. If you could get Zach for the bare minimum, do it. If you could do
I'd trade Reeves,
Austin AR, Max Christie,
I'd trade AR.
Go ahead, do it. I don't see why not.
I trade AR, but I'm keeping the hoopers. Rui Hachimura and D'Angelo Russell are hoopers.
I keep those. I really fuck with Rui. I'm very high on Rui, so
I
don't want to see Rui go.
For sure. All right. So to close out with that, I mean, we'll see kind of as it plays down. There's a couple of teams that are probably looking, to trade some pieces away. I'm sure Portland, even though they got their draft capital, they might want to flip the switch on a couple of things unless you're playing for another draft pick because Scoot Henderson is now out for a couple of weeks. Anthony Simon's timetable isn't clear and stuff like that. So we'll see what these moves happen in the NBA. Regardless of that, we're going to close out the episodes like we always do with the question of the day. So I'll start with you. This is going to be a new segment called GM Question. If you were a GM, are you taking right now Maxey or Tyrese Halliburton?
I smiled earlier because I saw this question. You're an asshole. You're making me pick between two really good guards. But
Yep.
honestly, Maxi's coming out right now. And Halliburton is a monster in my opinion.
Yep. It's tough. That's tough. That's a pick'ems.
Honestly, bro,
Mhm.
I'm taking Halliburton.
Okay.
I'll take Tyrese because he obviously he's a great player. We've seen the way he plays. He can shoot the ball and he can assist like a motherfucker. I'm pretty sure if this man wants to and he decides
You
to.
gotta be. Wait. Not to cut you off, you gotta be clear which Tyrese, because they're
Oh
both
shit.
Tyrese.
My fault.
Which is crazy.
My fault.
Halliburton. Yeah.
There you go. I'm taking Tyrese Halliburton. Okay. Here's
Yeah.
why. Because this man, and I'm gonna repeat what I said. Like this guy, this man, this fucking baller. Okay. What he can do if he decides to, which I can see happening, he could average a double if he decided to.
Oh, for sure.
And like he could sleep there and be like the greatest double player of all time.
Which he is.
Yes, he's doing amazing. I'm taking Tyrese Halliburton because of his playmaking ability as well. He can score the ball, but I'm more for my playmaking. If I'm building a team right now, and you're telling me to build the team around Maxi or Halliburton, I'm picking Halliburton. Have him run my point. Maxi's a very good player. I really like Maxi a lot. He's fast, he's quick, just a speedy guard. Just could shoot the fuck out of that ball too, because he's been cooking up lately too. He dropped a 50 ball, right?
Yep.
Or was it a 40? 40?
50 ball.
50 ball. Yeah, he dropped a 50 ball, bro. Like, he's a scorer, but if I'm building a team around a player, I'm building around somebody that can also dish it out. I'm picking Halliburton for those reasons.
For sure. I'm also going with Tyrese Halliburton. As much as I love Maxi, I think that if you're talking about, obviously, I preach both ends of the floor. Tyrese Maxi is 3 inches shorter than Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton also has a longer wingspan. I think he's a better defender. He averages about a steal a game. Maxi's under like a half a steal a game. And then Tyrese Halliburton is averaging 12 assists a game. He is a very, very good passer of the basketball. He knows how to find his shooters. He knows how to find his big man specifically. And I just think he has a swag about him on the floor where you have to pay attention to him. Both guys are very, very good in the fourth quarter. They both got ice in their veins. We're talking about probably 2 of the top 3 guards in the East. If you want to put Dame in there, you can. The top 5 probably includes Tyrese, Halliburton, and Maxi, Dame, LaMelo, and then I would
Whoa. Donovan.
point guards.
Oh shit.
Point guards. Even though Maxi's a 2 technically, but now that he's the actual point, I would the points I'd say LaMelo, Dame, Maxi, Halliburton, and then probably Garland. Just the way that they're playing, or Jalen Brunson. I feel like those 2 are but those 2 specifically are top 3 for sure. They're 1 and 2. And I would go with Halliburton just because he's a better defender. He's a much better distributor of the basketball, and he's still giving you 22 points a night. Maxi's a fantastic scorer, but I think at times he can be a little bit of a defensive liability. And then I don't want people talking about that block that he had, because a lot of these players are getting these behind the back blocks. Like, a lot of players can do that. Halliburton is the de facto, you're the guy taking the last shot. Maxi, if he's not hot, he's throwing it to Embiid. Halliburton doesn't have a player like that. If he was on Philadelphia, it'd be fucking raps. I'm gonna be honest. The way he's playing this season,
Bro.
so I would also go Halliburton with that. I'm not disagreeing with you there.
So really quick, let's do this because you just brought it up. If you switch them to, switch teams, put Put I was about to say Tyrese and Tyrese again. If you put Halliburton on the Sixers and you put Maxi on the Pacers.
I think Maxi with their pace would be a 27 a game point scorer, because they run people out of the gym. They are the Sacramento Kings of the East.
They run fast.
If you put Halliburton on the 76ers, you're talking about a top 3 team in the East, because Joel Embiid is going to get fed like he hasn't been fed. before, even better than James Harden, because Harden, he's a good passer, not a great passer. Tyrese is a great passer. Tobias Harris would improve because he's getting cleaner shots. And then your other shooters would improve as well. So I think that they would be in immediate championship contention with the way that Joel Embiid is playing as well, because Joel Embiid is absolutely frying people again. He is well-deserved MVP. He's cooking it regular season, but he's cooking.
Yeah. Okay, man. I'm glad we both agree.
Mhm.
It was a good question though, because I'm
It's
not
close.
I want y'all to understand that we're not sleeping on Tyrese
No,
Maxey.
no,
We're
not at
not
all.
like Maxey's tough. It's just like if I'm building a team, I'm taking Halliburton for the reasons that we gave: defense,
Exactly.
shooting, distributing. I'm telling you, man,
Absolutely.
greatest double
I mean,
double
like,
player of
these
all time if
numbers
he
are
wants
these
to.
numbers are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
These numbers are insane. Watch this. The last 2 games that they played versus the 76ers and versus the Bucks. Tyrese Halliburton went 25 points, 17 assists, and 1 rebound. He had 2 steals and a block, went 9 of 14 from the field and 3 of 6 from 3. So he went 50% from 3. Versus the Bucks, he went 29, 10 and 6 with a block, went 10 of 17 from the field and 5 of 9 from 3. He is also lights out from the 3-point line. So you're just
Efficient.
talking about an all-around efficient scorer, playmaker, defender. So Tyrese is he's in a different class, and he's definitely breaking out now.
Which
He's
Tyrese?
Tyrese Halliburton. That's actually hilarious that they're both Tyrese, but yeah, he's an absolute beast.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great time. These were some very good topics. I feel like we discussed them very well. We got into it. Not like we argued or anything like that, but we got into these topics. We gave you numbers to look at. Like I said, I don't really fuck with Shams. I think he'd be capping a lot. Captain Cap a lot. But overall, it's been a great episode. It's always fun talking to my boy Andy about ball. You know, we got some fun shit coming up. Andy, how are we looking with other guests?
So still have to hear back these guys. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's kind of hard to track some of these dudes down. And then in the Twitter spaces, a lot. What the problem with a lot of these guys is because they are these troll stan accounts. A lot of these motherfuckers are like insecure little losers. I'm not talking about anybody specifically, but if the shoe fits, I'm sorry. So for them to put themselves on camera, it's probably not going to work too well because they want to stay hidden. I mean, like, if you run into any of these kids who be disrespected on Twitter, like in person, bro, like it would just be a whole different story. They wouldn't
Yeah.
be talking like they talk on NBA Twitter. You see me arguing probably all day, most days.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, right? There be times when I'm on my lunch break at work, I'm scrolling through Twitter, and it's just Andy just going off on somebody because they said some bullshit about LeBron. Or
It's
some
either
bullshit about something else.
Bron,
Yeah.
the fucking something, just something. And I'm still to this day, I'm in a debate that's been going on for 3 months about Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook, which we are gonna have a segment where we are both going to prepare, and it's gonna be an audience kind of type of situation,
Gonna be a poll.
and you and I are going to debate Derrick Rose or Russell Westbrook. We're not talking about like their careers. We're talking about who would you rather have and why. And given like the similar situations, who would have succeeded more.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have that, and that's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna do the same thing with Lemaire later on in the season. We're gonna do a LeBron and KD debate. Um, those are always fun to do. LeBron KD debates because it's just hard, but the
Bro,
KD fans go really, really hard.
might as well bring the whole shop class into that.
Yeah, like so we're gonna do that. And then I would love nothing more than to bring either an old head or one of these MJ defenders and have an ultimate debate. So you guys can see me pick apart MJ fans live. I don't need to look at stats. I don't need to look at my computer. I don't need to look at shit. All I need is a camera, and I want that person to look me dead in my eyes and try to tell me why Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James. So other than that, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys like the new overlay, super clean. all that stuff is coming. We still got IRL videos coming in. Pay attention to the TikTok. I got 2 TikToks coming out this week. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
All right, like always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the episode. Like always, like, comment, subscribe. Go follow us on the TikTok.
Yes, sir.
TikTok. Go follow us on Twitter. You know, do we even have a gram? I don't know if we got a gram, but oh yeah, we do got a gram.
We do have a gram.
Follow us on the gram. You know, follow us everywhere. Keep track with us. Yo, hit us up, bro. Tell us what y'all want us to talk about. We're down to talk about anything, man. You want to argue with Andy about LeBron?
Anybody want to come in? You can come in. If you know ball, you can know ball.
If you want to argue with Andy about something, go ahead, bro. Tag, pick, and pop there. Say whatever you want to say. You want to argue with me about Russ? I'll argue all day about this man. Okay, whatever the fuck you want to do, just hit us up. Hit us up. Any last words, my boy?
That's it, man. He's been the pick. I'm the pop, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.